Hey friends, welcome back. This is another episode of the monthly wrap-up where I take footage from the previous month, the footage that didn't make my regular videos that you see here on YouTube, and we talk about it. Think of it as the cutting room floor stuff. There's still some pretty interesting things in there, so let's get right into it this month. I have found a nice gathering of very large sharks, and I've got a video of those coming up, but here's what I'm talking about. What is bringing these sharks to this location? That's the question. That's the answers that I'm searching for. These are not juvenile white sharks. I'll release a video of this coming up here in the future. In some cases, these sharks do cross paths with humans, as you often see with the juveniles that I film. Here's an example. For context, this surfer did not know that this shark was there until he saw my drone. And as is the case, a lot of times when people realize there's a shark near them, they actually become curious. The sharks do become curious as well in some cases. And as you'll see here, curiosity kicks in. The paddleboarder goes up to take a peek. The shark also takes a peek. And as happens almost every time, it's one of the most predictable behaviors of sharks. You'll notice here's a standard shark reaction where the shark will disappear and appear right behind the subject. Happens almost every time. And now the shark continues on its path. It never shows any aggression and it just continues going. Here's another example. This is a very large shark. The interesting thing about this is that there's 3 large sharks here. I've only seen a gathering of large sharks like this in one other place, and that's in Guadalupe Island off the coast of Mexico. What is bringing these sharks here? That's the question I'm trying to answer, but believe me, I'm going to be focused on watching these sharks because I suspect some of them are pregnant, and if they're giving birth near this area, it's going to be groundbreaking, but a lot of work has to be done to prove it. One reminder about the footage that I post here is that for every awesome clip that you see, there's probably 3 missed opportunities or 3 things that I did have to go through in order to get that one awesome clip. Here's what I'm talking about. This month has been a month of missed opportunities, to say the least. Here's a shark that completely turned on its side. Whatever happened before that caused this behavior, I was just too high in altitude to clearly see it. Observing sharks from above, you rarely get a chance to film their underside or even their side. So when I miss a shot like this, it really drives me crazy. I tell you, it's been the theme of the month. Here's another missed opportunity for me. This shark was curious about kelp. The story behind this is that I'd followed this shark for 2 hours. It did absolutely nothing. And so in those 2 hours, I decided to get my cell phone and put it in my hood and take a picture just to post on my Instagram. And if you follow me on Instagram, you probably saw it. But it was in that moment that that shark found a piece of kelp, came out of the water and took a nice little nibble at this kelp. And I missed it because I was not prepared. Well, I was prepared, but I wasn't ready to actually capture it. So the story came out, the shot didn't. Nothing drives me crazier than missing a breach, though. And this month, I've missed 3 breaches. I've probably seen 5 breaches this month, but 3 of those I legitimately had a shot to capture. I caught the tail end of them. Here's an example. You can clearly see the splash here in my hood. On my drone and the live cam, I could see the shark completely out of the water. It was incredible. I think everybody on the beach heard me yell, but I missed the shot. Here's another one. This time I was recording the wrong shark, and this shark just breached out of the water beautifully, and I only got the splash yet again. The interesting thing about this piece is that this shark has a significant injury on top of it. And I noted that I've seen this shark breach twice in one day. I have a theory as to why this shark in particular might be breaching a lot, and it has to do with that injury. I'll have a video about that up soon. Stay tuned for that. Now here's a clip from about 4 years ago. I did capture the shark breaching, but I missed the shot. It's still pretty cool, but as a photographer, I'm still chasing that perfect shot. Watch this. I missed the exposure as well, and that really drove me crazy. Still pretty cool to see. Like everything else with these creatures, I'm going to have to be patient to get that perfect breach video and photograph. I'm talking about a natural breach, not one of those baited breaches that you see on TV. I'm talking about one of those breaches that you can see everything and kind of analyze why it's doing it. So stay tuned for that. I guarantee you I'm going to get one in the future, and I feel it. I'm really close to it. Every month I film more than sharks. This month I filmed the mola just 1,000 feet offshore. These fish tend to go pretty big. In fact, they are the largest bony fish in the world. I was pretty pleased with this footage because I've never got footage that clear from a drone before. I was lucky enough to swim next to a mola recently, and here's some footage of that. These are incredible looking fish. I'm going to dedicate a full video to molas in case you're interested. Stay tuned for that in the future. And last but not least, I traveled to the Sea of Cortez this month. It was an incredible experience. I was there on an orca expedition to film orcas, and in between finding orcas, I experienced a lot of cool sea life. Here's just a preview of what I saw. This turtle came right up to me, something that's never happened to me because the turtles are usually pretty skittish. That was pretty awesome. But the most awesome thing was I finally got to swim with an orca in the wild, and that was incredible. I'll have an episode of that coming up in the future, so stay tuned for that. It's pretty wild to be in the water with an orca. It's pretty wild. All right, so that's going to do it for the monthly wrap-up. I hope you enjoyed that. It's been a very interesting month. The next 4 weeks is going to be really interesting because the weather should be pretty good for filming sharks. If you get a chance, visit my merch store. This is a shirt that's in my merch store right now. I took this picture in Guadalupe Island. I just posted this. There's a lot of goodies in there, so take a look. Thank you to my subscribers and to my Patreon and YouTube members. Your support really does make a difference. Don't forget to like. I know you get tired of hearing that and subscribing, but it does help us creators quite a bit. And hope you have a really, really good August, and I'll see you at the end of the month for another episode of the Monthly Wrap-Up. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.